Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS as well. Peace and salutation to the elect. My name is Anah. I'm back with another video. It's titled The War That Will End All Wars. I'm basically just going into, WW3, which is World War III, which is brewing because we're at the end of this thing, pretty much, and we got a few prophecies left. A few major prophecies left, that being Jacob's trouble, the MOTP, and World War III, because right in the midst of World War III, when those nukes begin to fly, excuse me, I got some trying to burp whatever. When those nukes begin to fly, Yahweh Shah is going to come and redeem the elect of Israel, right? And the rest of the Babylon the Great and 2/3 going to be burned up over here in the fires. And yeah, so I got this YouTube video here, and I liked it. Haven't subscribed yet because I don't know too much of what he does, but I seen this video, and I would highly recommend you checking out the video because I mean it's pretty much of everything we already know, but he goes into detail about it, just describing the war with Israel and how that's branching off into something major and all of that. So this is basically getting into the list of flock shall draw out Babylon the Great, and that snare that Yahweh Bashim Shai has them in. Pretty much, just above the trumpet, our salvation is nearer than we believe. This is just hope, faith, everything written in the scriptures is faithful and true, and it's all coming to pass. Habakkuk 2 and 3, though it tarry, it will surely come, right? So we're at the end of this thing, and it's a great thing. I actually just thought about something. Yeah, right there. Let's get to Matthew 13 and 16. So Matthew 13 and 16, it says, "But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them." Right? But we all believe in reincarnation. Those are the hopeful elect, and the household of faith. So we believe in regeneration, and we are those same people brought back basically. But this is an excellent scripture because we are in the end of the days. Basically, the scripture says everything that has a beginning has also an end, and the end is manifest. So what? Second Esdras 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the road, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Let me make sure that says that. I believe it do. Second Esdras 6 and 9. It says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." Right. So we can see that Esau Edom is basically destroying the world in all shapes, types, and forms, right? What? Making it illegal to basically eat food, trying to tell us to eat bugs, and trying to take, basically human society, like the things that humans do, trying to put the MOTB in our body, mixed us with machinery, just all manners of different things that Esau Edom is doing, which is wickedness and abominations, and so this man is wicked. You just gotta go look at the world. You got I seen something. They had the LGBTQP. So the whole alphabet and all that stuff. It's just they keep adding different letters to it to justify their bullshit with their laws, decrees, all of that. So it's just crazy. Anyway, we're gonna get this right here.
A day before the ground assault, that President Biden reiterated personally to Netanyahu that the United States does not support ground operations in Rafah. But this has not stopped Congress from voting to provide Israel with an additional aid package of $17 billion. The European Union has also urged Israel not to attack Rafah, stating concerns about dire consequences for the civilian.
All right, so basically that everything that's taking place, is wonderful to see because, in the news right now in the media surrounding Israel, we have all these EU nations and all these other, different nations surrounding, Israel, and they're upset about what's taking place. So this is a part of that going into Revelation 17. These shall hate the horde, and we're seeing why because through it all, America, in so much words or less, or however they're doing it sneakily, subtly, the devil, they're backing everything that Israel is doing. No matter what, they're sticking by their side. So the different, nations around Israel is saying, hey, listen, we're not okay with this, and we don't want you to do these different things. But America is not putting their foot down to basically stop this. They're still sending their weapons. If you look in the news, let's see what they said: U.S. weapons used. And let's just do Gaza, the Gaza Strip. See, 21 hours ago, 6 minutes ago, U.S. bomb fragments found at site of Israeli strike on Rafah camp. So this is the Washington Post, right? So they shall make their own tongue fall upon themselves, right? The world is reading this. So all these people that's telling Israel not to do these things, we don't agree with it, this and the third, they're seeing this. So like, okay, well, U.S. doesn't care about how we feel what we're saying. Along that, in different many things, the sanctions put on over there on the European nations, everything's just building up, and it's lovely to see because this will be the end of Babylon the Great, the end of this kingdom, right? And the kingdom to come will be ours, the Israelites, right?
Population. Egypt is worried about the Rafah offensive due to the potential influx of refugees from Gaza. According to the Wall Street Journal, Egypt has warned Israel that their decades-old peace treaty may be suspended if the Israeli army launches an offensive on Rafah and if the Palestinian refugees flee Rafah for Egypt. Saudi Arabia, whose peace talks with Israel have been on hold since the start of the war, has also strongly urged Israel against attacking Rafah. But even without the IDF's assault on Rafah, the potential...
So now this is the part. This is that snare and trap that's happening, right before everyone's eyes. This is what they're trying to prevent, but they can't prevent it. It don't matter what they see in the news. This is something that they do not want, especially now with everything they're trying to do, establish their new world order, 2030 agenda, MOTB.
Potential for regional destabilization continues to be massive. While there is a hot...
Let's go back right quick.
Even without the IDF's assault on Rafah, the potential for...
It says the potential for regional destabilization continues to be massive. That's all the nations, upset about what's about to break out, right? World War III. Because of who? Israel.
Regional destabilization continues to be massive. While there is a hot war going on in Gaza, a potential conflict between Israel and Iran has been the largest...
The least of the flock shall draw them out. We understand that Iran is backed by Russia, and according to the scriptures in Ezekiel 37, Russia is going to spearhead the destruction coming to Israel and Babylon the Great. So the least of the flock, being Israel over here, is going to bring out Babylon the Great that's over there, right? Cause World War III.
Cause of worry for its disastrous potential consequences for global security. It is not a secret that Iran supports Hamas and other groups in Gaza, along with Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, and a myriad of anti-American and anti-Israeli groups in Iraq and other countries of the...
Right, so even then, let's get Luke. We start at Luke 21 and 20. It says, "And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto." Right. So this is prophesied by Daniel the prophet, right, back in 70 AD when we was overthrown by the Romans. It says, "For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled." Right. So these are the days of vengeance. Right. Going back to Habakkuk 2 and 3, uh, everything must be fulfilled. Basically, all the prophecy must come to pass. Right. So everything is being completed and just brought out in our faces. Luke 21:23, it says, "But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people." Right? And it was a lot going on, famines and different things during that time, and even more so now when Jacob troubles hit. Still the same thing pretty much. Woe unto you with child, because you're gonna need Yahweh Bashmi al Shad, basically, to provide. You gotta be you gotta be the elect. Because famines, pestilence, earthquakes, all that stuff is coming back again. That's part of Jacob's trouble in the end of the world. Luke 21:24. "And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. In Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled." Right? So we were led away captives into all nations. And Jerusalem, which is over there in Israel, will be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So that time right now is now. This is the Gentiles' time, basically. The heathens' reign, basically. So that time is almost up, though, and you can see they're fighting over our land, trying to push each other out of our land. Even going back to 1948 when Israel became a state. Even that one guy said the Israelites left black but came back white. So it's all bullshit. Luke 21:25, it says, "And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring." Aren't we seeing all of that? We just had the you know uh not the new moon, like eclipse. It was an eclipse. We seen an eclipse, and if you go back to like the one that happened in like 2007 or something, and then the one that just happened makes an X. So those are signs. The moon turning red, and then the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations. Well, aren't we seeing distress of nations? Everybody is distressed right now with perplexity, the sea and waves roaring. I seen something happen in Florida where it was a bunch of waves crashing onto like a army base or something. It says, "Men's heart failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken." Right, and that's that nuclear war that's happening. That's about to happen with those missiles. "And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory." Right, that's what we waiting on that. "And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh." Right? So, hey, that's where we're at. We're right there at the end. Just like I said, everything that has a beginning has an end, and the end is manifest. And we are in those days. This is the end. Right? And this is what's happening. Let me get rid of this.
The Middle East. Since the start of the war, the Houthis have been attacking vessels moving through the Red Sea, accusing them of supporting Israel's war effort. Hezbollah and the IDF continue exchanging fire along the Lebanese border. Israel has also not been sitting idly and has been targeting Iran's military infrastructure throughout the Middle East. On April 1st, the conflict between Israel and Iran reached a very risky point of tension when the Israeli Air Force launched a deadly airstrike on the Iranian consulate in Damascus, killing...
Right, so you can see there, Israeli attacked Iran directly, and then, as he's gonna say, Iran attacked them back. So it's open warfare, right? Excuse me, I don't know, I got gas or something, but I'm burping a lot. I'm trying to find the comments. If you get the comments of this video, it's
The end of the Cold War and the discovery of oil on the southern edge of the Arabian Peninsula created a new situation in Yemen.
what? Yeah, the comments is crazy on this video. I mean, I didn't read all of them, but you can imagine, the bickering and fighting that's going on. I actually forgot what I wanted out of the comments. But you can check the comments out too. See, the minds of these people.
very risky point of tension when the Israeli Air Force launched a deadly airstrike on the Iranian consulate in Damascus, killing 16 people, including Brigadier General Zahedi of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Iran immediately stated that it would retaliate. Despite calls of Western countries not to respond and Israel's warnings about their own retaliation, Iran launched a massive missile and drone barrage on Israel 12 days later on April 13th. The IDF spokesperson Haggari stated that Iran fired 170 drones, more than 30 cruise missiles, and 120 ballistic missiles. The Iranian Chief of Staff, Bagheri, claimed that the primary target of the Iranian attack was the Nevatim airbase, which was used to attack the Iranian consulate. The Israeli air defense and American, British, French, and Jordanian jets were used to shoot down the vast majority of Iranian missiles and drones. 7 to 9 missiles struck Nevatim and Ramon airbases, but the damage was reportedly minor. Even before the Iranian Shahed drones completed their long and slow travel to Israel, Iran's representative in the UN declared that the matter was concluded from their side. Still, Israel vowed to retaliate against the Iranian attack. You already know where such a back and forth could lead, but Iran decided to downplay the April 19th Israeli.
Right, so that back and forth could lead to World War III and a de-escalation of the world as we know it, basically, you know, because World War III was going to take place.
Missile or drone attacks, according to different sources, which reportedly did some damage to an airbase near the Natanz nuclear site. Some Arab media outlets claimed that the United States managed to persuade the Israeli government not to retaliate.
So yeah, look at that. Babylon the Great is afraid. You know, they're afraid of that being sucked into that World War III, right? They got a lot on their table that they need to accomplish, and right now, you know, I guess in their minds it's not time for war, but Yahweh Bashim al-Shah is going to drag them into that war. Okay.
Strongly against Iran in exchange for tacit approval of the Rafah offensive. But it is impossible to prove this allegation, as at least publicly.
And, they're calling this the G word. You know, you gotta figure out what that means because they're very sensitive about things because the truth is being brought out about them, right? That man of sin has been revealed. So we just started Jeremiah 50 and 43. You know, this is just talking about destruction of Babylon and how, you know, like I said, Russia is gonna attack this place and destroy this place, and Yahushua is gonna come through them chariots and the laser beams. Right, this is Jeremiah 50 and 43. The king of Babylon hath heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him, and pains as of a woman in travail. Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan unto the habitation of the strong, but I will make them suddenly run away from her. And who is a chosen man that I may, let me see, get some, we get a little bit more of this. Start at 34. Let's get the, it says prophecy against Babylon, right? So this is a prophecy against Babylon the Great. You can go here and get the prophecy, you know, like I said, it's pretty much talking about the destruction that's coming to Babylon the Great. Jeremiah 50 and 34, it says, their Redeemer is strong. Who's Redeemer? The Israelites, right? The children of Israel. We start at 33. It says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, Jeremiah 50 and 33, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. Their Redeemer is strong, the Lord of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. A sword is upon the Chaldeans, saith the Lord, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, and upon her princes, and upon her wise men, right? And that's talking about modern day Babylon the Great, which is United States of America, which is, you know, today, 5/29/24, 7:51 p.m. Babylon the Great, where, you know, majority of us or some of us live in that, right? A sword is upon the liars, and they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed. A sword is upon her horses, and upon their chariots, and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her. And they shall become as women. A sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed. A drought is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. For it is a land of graven images, and they are made mad upon her idols. Right, that famine that's coming up to Babylon the Great. Jeremiah 50 and 39. Therefore the wild beasts of the desert, with the wild beasts of the island shall dwell there, and the owl shall dwell therein, and it shall be no more inhabited forever, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, right? So we understand that this is talking about a prophecy that's going to happen sometime in the near future, right? Because this place will be destroyed completely, and no one will ever dwell in here, right? So this is talking about modern day Babylon the Great, which is the United States of America, not ancient Babylon. Because if you look up in the land where ancient Babylon was. Over there, pretty much in the map I just showed you, and over there, people are still dwelling there. It says Jeremiah 50 and 40, as Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein, right? In Babylon the Great, nor will ever dwell here again. Behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth, right? That north nation is talking about Russia, and his allies that he's gathering, through economic trade, the BRICS nations, the new currency and everything that they're doing over there. Of course, Iran. Jeremiah 50 and 42. They shall hold the bow in the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses, every one put in array like a man to battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. Right? So it's happening. It's going to happen. The king of Babylon have heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him in pangs as of a woman in travail. And you can even see that in the news right now. They're basically saying Russia is so strong, we need to, do more, right? Because they thought that, I don't know why the hell they thought it, but they thought for the reason Ukraine would be able to overcome Russia, because they're thinking this is the same Russia back with the USSR that they defeated, but this is a different Russia. This is a Russia that Yahweh Bashmi Awashai is raising up to destroy Babylon the Great, right? So, and that's according to prophecy. Behold, Jeremiah 15:44. Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan unto the habitation of the strong, but I will make them suddenly run away from her. And who is a chosen man that I may appoint over her? For who is like me, and who will appoint me the time, and who is that shepherd that will stand before me? Right? So that's how Shai comes to destroy Babylon the Great. With his chariots, the laser beams, and also the indignation of the Lord, which is the nuclear ICBM missiles. Jeremiah 15:45. Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord, that he hath taken against Babylon and his purposes, that he hath proposed against the land of Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Right? So as we can see, Israel is over there getting all the other nations upset, doing things that even Babylon the Great is saying, listen, calm down, don't do. But Babylon the Great will be dragged into war by Israel by the hand of Yahweh Bashmi Awashai. Jeremiah 50 and 46. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations. Victory of the Lamb. Revelation 17 and 14. It says these. So once again, this is another prophecy and a breakdown. You can go ahead and read that. I'm going to get the point. Revelation 17 and 14. It says, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and kings of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful, right? So when he said he would plead with these people, these different nations, that's what's happening. He's going to make war with them, right? And destroy the armies. Revelation 17 and 14. These shall make war with the Lamb when Yahushua returns, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful, right? That's the hopeful elect, Revelation 17 and 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, right? These are the allied nations of Babylon the Great. These so-called EU nations. Let me see if I can get a better little still. Zooming in. Let's see. So you got the United States right here, and you see you got Turkey and Ukraine and Russia right there, and all the allied Poland, France, all the allied nations of Babylon the Great right over here, and here's Israel right here, this little spot right there, right, this little land. So those are the 10 horns, the allied nations, the EU nations, the beast. And the 10 horns which thou saw upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For Yahweh have put in their hearts to fulfill his will, right? So the scriptures say the king's heart is in the hands of the Lord, and he turneth whichsoever where he pleaseth, right? So he has put it in their heart to, basically be a part of that beast system and be NATO, for a period of time until, Babylon the Great is ready to be destroyed. Revelation 17 and 17, it says, for Yahweh have put in their hearts to fulfill his will. and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which ringeth over the kings of the earth, right? Babylon the Great. It is not Babylon the Great, the whole hammer of the earth, ruling the world with, military power, right? That's Babylon the Great, United States, USA. 2:1, right? Isaiah 2:1. So this is when Yahushua returns, right? The word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem, right? This is what's going to happen. We're going to be the judges of the whole world, right? Rulers and kings. That's so basically, this kingdom ending, basically Babylon the Great kingdom ending, and then our kingdom starting, and that's what's going to happen. The people are going to come to us, and we're going to teach them, get them in order. Isaiah 14:1. It says, for the Lord, and that's going into my title also, because I said the war that will end all wars. So actually, let me get okay, no, that was that. Let me get, I think I deleted it for some reason. Isaiah 2 and 4. Oh, I didn't even get it. I didn't get all of it. So yeah, going into my title, says the war to end all wars. So I'll read that again. The word of the Isaiah 2:1. It says, the word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore, right? So this will be the war to end all wars, basically. Once our kingdom is established, and Yahushua, picks us up and everything, and, puts these heathen into subjection, they won't be warring anymore, right? So they won't come in the kingdom and then try to fight us in the kingdom like what is it? IUIC says, that's false. That's a false doctrine. Isaiah 14:1. It says, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. The strangers being who? The heathens. And the people shall take them and bring them into their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors, right? So that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting to get rest. Isaiah 14:3. And it shall come to pass that in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased, right? So we're going to be so happy. We're going to be glorified. We're going to, get new bodies. We're going to be rulers and kings. We're going to have our oppressors in subjection, and that's why the current troubles that we're going through, it don't really matter, because we understand that in this, if we're endured to the end, Lord willing that we're part of the hopeful elect, we're going to get all of this, right from the beginning, and then we're going to have our children to bring back 2/3. So it's all good. It's all good in the hood, right? So, with that, I hope you got some edification from this. You understand a little bit more about this Hamas war or whatever. Let's probably get a little bit more of this.
Still, Israel vowed to retaliate against the Iranian attack. You already know where such a back and forth could lead, but Iran decided to downplay the April 19th Israeli missile or drone attacks, according to different sources, which reportedly did some damage to an airbase near the Natanz nuclear site. Some Arab media outlets claimed that the United States managed to persuade the Israeli government not to retaliate strongly against Iran in exchange for tacit approval of the Rafah offensive. But it is impossible to prove this allegation, as at least publicly, the Biden administration continues to urge restraint from Netanyahu with regards to their plans in Rafah. On May 9th, Biden warned Israel that if it enters Rafah, the United States will stop some of their weapon supplies. I made it clear that if they go into Rafah, they haven't gone into Rafah yet, if they go into Rafah, I'm not supplying the weapons that have been used historically to deal with Rafah, to deal with the cities that deal with that problem.
And that's another thing that they keep saying, that deal with that problem. You know, I did another video on a wiki, president, or about to be soon to be president of the United States, Donald Trump, which is Nero, uh, is saying, they need to hurry up and deal with their problem because they're losing basically public opinion, and that's going to, everyone around shall hate the whore, because really and truly these people, U.S. is backing Israel.
So the war in Gaza is about to enter another hot phase with the Battle of Rafah. But many keep asking this question: what has Israel achieved in this war so far? Does it?
And all they're trying to achieve is to get those, those people out of the land, those Palestinians, those different, you know, Arabic Muslim people up in there. They're trying to get them out of that land because they was made a state and they want that land to themselves. But it's the Israelites' land, and pretty soon Yahushua is coming, and we're gonna take it back, and everything's gonna be all right. Everyone's gonna be in order. All will be happy. The scriptures say, everyone's gonna be okay. Even the trees are gonna be at rest because there's no feather to chop them down, right? So we all gonna be happy. So with that, shalom to the elect, to the hopeful elect, shalom.